Back in the day, there were no camera phones, no Instagram. If a moment got captured, it was because someone with a real camera was in the right place at the right time. Most of what happened backstage, in the studio, on the tour bus, it's gone forever. But not all of it. Some of those moments survived. And the ones I'm about to show you, they tell stories the songs never could. Nirvana, 1990. Playing to a handful of people in a record store. This is the calm before the storm. Just a few months later, their drummer would be replaced by a kid named Dave Grohl, and the music world would never be the same again. A rare moment of peace between two old warriors. The relationship between Townsend and Daltrey was notoriously explosive. Daltrey once knocked Pete out cold with one punch. This photo from their farewell tour captures a brief truce in a 50-year war. The two undisputed kings of the British invasion. This was on the set of the Stones' Rock and Roll Circus, where John Lennon formed a one-off supergroup with Eric Clapton and Keith Richards for his first ever solo performance outside the Beatles. Cream's final bow at the Royal Albert Hall. While it looked triumphant, the band was completely broken by infighting. They barely spoke, and during one song, Clapton's guitar strap broke, and the other two didn't even notice for several minutes. Two absolute titans of 70s rock. Freddie Mercury and Elton John were dear friends and partners in flamboyance. Elton famously gave Freddie the drag nickname Melina, while Freddie called him Sharon. Two queens holding court. Jim Morrison in his beloved '67 Shelby Mustang, the Blue Lady. The car is one of rock's great unsolved mysteries. Morrison allegedly crashed it on a back road in LA, walked away, and it was simply never seen again. A photo that could only have happened in 1988. Paul Stanley, Billy Squier, and a pop princess meet the baddest man on the planet. At this moment, Mike Tyson wasn't just the heavyweight champ, he was the most famous celebrity in the world. Rush in full progressive rock glory, 1977. Their record label panicked when they heard the 10-minute epic Xanadu, a song inspired by a classic poem. The band refused to compromise and created one of their most beloved masterpieces. The Heart and Soul of Thin Lizzy, 1976. This was the year of Jailbreak and their anthem, The Boys Are Back in Town. That song was almost never released as a single until their American manager fought the label to release it. The photo that defined punk rock. This shot for their debut album wasn't the first idea. The band rejected an earlier, sillier photo shoot, opting for this gritty, street-level image that perfectly matched their revolutionary sound. Four brothers against the world. Queen backstage in '81, at the height of their pop power. The massive success of John Deacon's funky Another One Bites the Dust caused a creative rift, leading to the controversial dance album Hot Space and alienating many of their rock fans. Ozzy in 1977, just before the end of his first run with Black Sabbath. Things were falling apart. The band tried everything to help him, but nothing stuck. His departure from Sabbath became unavoidable. A painful ending, but not the end of the story. Three icons at a party David Bowie threw to retire Ziggy Stardust. Bowie had just produced Lou Reed's comeback album, Transformer, single-handedly resurrecting his career and giving him his biggest ever hit, Walk on the Wild Side. A moment of peace during the madness of exile on Main Street. While the sessions were legendary for their wildness, the ever-professional Charlie Watts hated the unprofessional atmosphere so much that he seriously considered quitting the Rolling Stones for good. Jimi Hendrix, in a quiet moment before a show in Queens. But outside this locker room, things were tense. Massive crowds without tickets tried to force their way into the already packed venue, creating a dangerous situation that previewed the challenges of the festival era. Celebrating their masterpiece, Who's Next? But the album was born from failure. It was salvaged from the wreckage of Pete Townshend's abandoned rock opera, Lifehouse, a project so ambitious and complex, it nearly gave him a nervous breakdown. The birth of a rock and roll villain. Alice Cooper's iconic eye makeup was a complete accident. He was trying to create a clean, precise look, but messed it up. The resulting smeared, jagged slashes became his menacing signature. The coolest man on earth, 1966. But outside that car was a war. During this controversial Electric tour, Dylan was booed as a traitor every night, culminating in one fan shouting, "Judas!" to which Dylan told his band to play effing loud. Two titans of Heartland rock, backstage in Detroit. That night, Springsteen made a surprise appearance on Seeger's stage, joining his hero for a legendary jam. A true passing of the torch moment for American rock and roll. The four-part harmony that defined a generation. But Neil Young, far right, was always the wild card. He hated the acoustic format, preferring his electric band Crazy Horse, a tension that would both fuel and fracture the supergroup for decades. The king and queen of New York punk. Joey Ramone had a legendary, unrequited crush on Debbie Harry. He wrote the classic Ramones song, "I Wanna Be Your Boyfriend," specifically for her. A rare, candid moment between two punk rock originals. The Blues Master and his most famous student. After their Grammy-winning success on the album The Healer, John Lee Hooker and Carlos Santana collaborated again. Their powerful partnership introduced the legendary bluesman to a whole new generation of fans. Uriah Heep's Ken Hensley, 1975. While a major band in Europe, their greatest legacy was being one of the first Western rock acts to break through the Iron Curtain, achieving massive Beatles-like stardom in Russia and Eastern Europe. The queen of 80s rock. But Pat Benatar's secret weapon wasn't her look, it was her voice. She was a classically trained opera singer, and that powerful soprano training gave her the incredible range to hit all those legendary notes. REO Speedwagon in 1981, the year they ruled the world with High Infidelity. But this was no overnight success. The band had been grinding it out on the road for over a decade, the ultimate Midwestern bar band that finally hit the jackpot. The Class of '77. This is the royalty of the New York punk scene. Jet, Harry, Johansson, and Ramone. All of them came up through the legendary club CBGB, influencing and supporting each other in a tight-knit, revolutionary community. The original Red Hot Chili Peppers, 1987. This is a moment of calm before major transition. Just 1 year later, guitarist Hillel Slovak, far left, would be gone, taken way too young. His passing devastated the band, but led directly to John Frusciante joining and the classic lineup being born. Tom Petty in 1979. The year Damn the Torpedoes made him a superstar. But he was at war with his label, going deep into personal debt to record the album himself. He hid the master tapes in his home until the legal battle was finally won. The Secret Weapon of Led Zeppelin, 1969. Before he was a rock god, John Paul Jones was a top London session man. He arranged the strings for the Rolling Stones' She's a Rainbow and played on records by Dusty Springfield and Donovan. A summit of guitar gods. Eric Clapton, the British blues purist, with Jerry Garcia, the king of psychedelic improvisation. They were the heads of the two great schools of 60s guitar and shared a deep mutual respect for one another's craft. 3 generations of rock and roll royalty. This was from the wild filming of the Chuck Berry tribute concert, Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll. Neil Young wasn't even on the bill. He just showed up to jam and pay his respects to the man who started it all.